Doing?
All right, how are you, Sid?
Good. Hey, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're on here. I'm finally got you on here.
Well, thank you for the invite. I appreciate it, and I appreciate what you do too, man. Good
Uh,
channel. Keep up the
I
good
th-
work.
Thank you. I'm kind of suffering. I had to take a couple days off because I don't know if you can tell, but my mouth's a little swollen. I got my wisdoms out. I got all four taken out. So I got the
Yeah, I can relate to that, man. I just had full dental work this year myself.
really. It's a pain, especially when they stitch you up afterwards and they numb you up, and then like a couple days after, the numbing wears off, and it's like, oh my god. You
Oh
know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
they
it's
they they did all 18 on my bottom, and plus gave me titanium rods in the bottom for the implants.
really.
Yeah,
How was
all
that?
in one day.
All in one day?
Yep,
That's crazy. That's wild.
and
I don't
and
think I could do that.
you could. You could. It was painful, believe that. But uh, in the long run, I was blessed to even be able to have the money to be able to go do that because a lot of people, they're not in that situation. They're not fortunate enough to be able to do it. At least I was blessed to be able to have that chance to do it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You
Hey
know.
James, did you end up getting that? Oh, we already talked about your motor, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't get it in today, right?
No, I got everything is off. Everything's ready just to come out. The block and everything's going over to the mechanic shop this next week. I should be out by next weekend, no later than Monday.
Nice. Okay. Cool. And I like that. The new clothing you got on, the new the cooking shirt, the cooking tee. You
Oh
want to show
yeah,
it off?
yeah, yeah. This is I came up with this a couple years ago when I started my food truck, and I'm real big and being when you're working in the kitchen, you really need to be clean, have no cross contamination and things like that. And you sweat a lot in the kitchen. And with me handling food, even though you're wearing gloves, you still want to keep your cross contamination down to a minimum. So it was an unfortunate situation on how I came up with this idea, but a fortunate situation.
Right.
I actually sweat, and I hope you don't take it the wrong way. It's just I explained to the situation is I was putting a burger together, and I had a piece of sweat drip down on the lady's burger. I was in the middle of my lunch rush. I ended up giving the lady her money back.
Yeah.
Plus, that I told her, I said, "This is what happened, and I can't serve it to you. I sweat in your food, and I'm just not going to give it back to you."
Right.
So I was like, "Man, what could I do to be able to stop that in the future? Plus, cross contamination, because a lot of chefs they'll have a towel in their hand, they have it on their shoulder, and
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously you don't think about it. You wipe your sweat, which is antibodies.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you put it back, and you kind of don't realize because you're cooking very fast, trying to be efficient and get the food out there, that you go right back to work and swoop that burger on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, there's got to be a better way to not be able to handle a towel because if you take it off here, you're putting it on the countertop, you're putting it somewhere in the kitchen, and you're doing a lot of cross contamination. So
Absolutely.
I was like, you know what? I came up with this. We got an antibacterial microfiber cloth that's attached to it, and then it's also removable, and it hits every position on each side of your face, from the neck to behind your ears, on your forehead, and all that. And you never ever have to touch a kitchen towel in the kitchen today, especially today now with COVID restrictions.
Oh yeah.
People want to keep up with that idea. So, you just basically you're able to get everywhere. So, and I got hundreds and hundreds of hours of live streaming on Facebook proving that you never have to touch a kitchen towel in the kitchen again to be
Absolutely.
sanitary. So,
Especially I feel like a lot of the chefs too, like you're talking about the lunch rush and stuff, you're not looking for a towel. You're just worried about serving, your customers and stuff. And it's good. I
right.
like how you came up with that idea. It's very clever, and that's a smart idea because I mean, you're in the middle of stuff. I just need to wipe real quick. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's a good idea. And you can take it off real quick, wash it, put it back on. It's Velcro, right?
Actually, when the shirts will be out here in about the next 30 days. we're in the last process of copywriting and trademarking and protecting my intellectual and international property as a brand,
Right.
so I can start manufacturing these. They're actually going to come with another set. Say you're a bigger person and, maybe you sweat a little bit more and you need that extra one. With these, they could be removed and you'll have another set with you to put back on. They're all washable. And, and I have them done in many different shirts, and it's not just for my industry. We actually thought about, there's other industries. Once I'm permitted to talk about the businesses that we're going to approach with my idea, I can speak more about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for people this is a utility shirt, which is kind of I guess say different trades. Mechanics.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They get their shirt deliveries from companies or whatever, and they're bent over the motor. They're sweat. They pick up that towel with grease. I have mechanic shirts, and that's what this is, kind of like a utility shirt, lawn care shirt, maybe a janitor shirt, different industries where you sweat profusely. It's just always easier to do it like this. And with an antibacterial microfiber cloth, what it's actually doing is absorbing. So when you just have a plain shirt, you're just smearing it.
Right.
And depending on where you work at, that could be a big turnoff, a big old ball of sweat from your head doing this.
Absolutely.
So we actually got them for servers. We're going to have them for bartenders, 5-star restaurant shirts, mechanic shirts, lawn care shirts, a basic overall utility shirt if you're a mechanic that works on motorcycles a lot or whatever.
Awesome.
Trying to target all industries where it could be utilized.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to get your Facebook and all your social media afterwards.
Okay.
Just so if people need to reach out to you and they can support your business. If you got the people that are going to be watching this, if you guys didn't know, James has his own food truck. It's called the Fresh Food Factory, right?
Yes, sir.
Fresh Food Factory over there in Florida. He's holding it down, gets a ton of business. Unfortunately, his truck broke down a couple days ago or about a week ago.
I'm going on 3 weeks right now,
3
but
weeks?
that's
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Yeah. Been a little setback on it, but hey, you know what?
Right.
Well, stay positive. I'm gonna keep on going. We're gonna get back out there.
That's right. And about that, I'm gonna put your do you have a Cash App Venmo?
I do have a Cash App. It's
Okay.
it's the what is it? It's a money sign Fresh Food Factory.
Okay, I'll write that down. Money sign Fresh Food Factory.
I appreciate it, Sid.
Yeah. I'll donate a little bit of my money that I have too as well to support you. I know you never know. Get a couple burgers, meats.
Hey, yes, sir. That's I also go out and do a lot of things within, the community with people that actually do send me Cash Apps and stuff like that.
Right.
Once a week, I either feed the homeless, we go and feed the nurses, the police, EMT, firefighters. At the end of my day, I'll just cook up like 10 burgers and 4 wraps or some wraps and chicken sandwiches, wrap them up, cook them, drive by the hospital, go drop them off. We do things like that around here, kind of take care of the community and stuff like that. So we got sponsors of the show that help us out and do things like that as well.
Nice. James, you're just different from I'm not even gonna really talk about the whole prison deal. So what? Doesn't matter. A lot of people aren't like you, especially coming out of prison in like 2000 or whatever. A lot of these TikTok, I'm gonna cut this part out, but a lot of these
that's okay.
A lot of these TikTokers on TikTok that came out of prison, they're really they're very eager to share their story. And I like how you mentioned, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, how these dudes aren't even, talking about anything positive or what they're doing now.
Right.
And yeah, I'll put them on blast. I don't care. And I'm glad I came up on you because one, you're an OG. You're from the California Penitentiary. And you came out very successful. strong mentality, chip on your shoulder, and you had plans when you wanted to get out.
Yes,
Like
sir.
your food truck, and I know there's like some other little businesses that you had that you sold to get to where you are now, which is, awesome. Um,
Thank you.
I it's just it's remarkable. It's remarkable. It's awesome what you're doing.
You, you
But
know, a lot of people that do get out, it's not that they don't have the mindset to do the things that not I don't brag about being in the past, because if you keep bragging about your past, that's all your life in the future is going to be about, is your past.
right,
It's about what you can do from when you get out of that situation that you was in the past. It's how you move on with it. If you want to
absolutely.
keep just daily reliving that stuff that you know you really wasn't about, and yeah, I said it here on TikTok that I got tired. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way that
Hmm.
a lot of these guys are getting on here telling stories about their personal time and experience, answering questions that are just, to me, so irrelevant, and
Hmm.
it's not real life.
Hmm.
That's a life that, if you say you're not so proud of being in, why are you bragging about it daily? The same, you could get on any social media platform and almost see how much negativity that they put out by not actually doing something about what they're trying not to have people go and do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, I understand. Yeah.
So, I understand answering some questions and this and that or whatever and whatnot, but it's always the same thing.
Hmm.
Get on here, stop telling people that those kind of the war stories is about that life. Get on here and show actually what you're doing with your life since you've been out. Be more of a
Hmm.
positive thing than just talk about the past and the negative. Because when I got out of prison, I had nothing. Like
Right.
literally, I came from California to Pensacola, Florida, and all I really had was an address to quote unquote stay.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So after I reported, I stayed with my brother's house, but I was incarcerated so long and just in that two-man cell, I was having a hard time adapting, even living in the house with other people.
Right.
So I actually had to go find my own self. And I was like, you know what? I got to get some money. I got to stay occupied. I got to get out of that mindset that I just left, because I didn't want to be in that criminal mindset, because while you're in prison, you almost consistently carrying a criminal mindset with you in there, because if you're not on the excuse me, if you ain't on the offensive, you have to be on the defensive. Now I did time in some of the most hardcore prisons in California: Folsom, New
Mm.
Folsom, San Quentin, Pelican Bay,
Wow.
Tracy. People, these guys are getting on here glorifying prison like it was Disneyland. Man, me and the homies were chopping it up. What were you chopping it up for? Were you chopping it up about how you're going to try to do the right thing and be positive when you get out, so you don't have to come back and be around a bunch of negativity? Because that's what it is. I
Hmm.
was like, you know what? I'm not going to be like that. So I started spray painting addresses on curbs, $5 each, 2 for $8. You know what I mean? I slept under a bridge. I slept here, slept there. And I just kept in the mindset that I got to stay busy, where I'm not going to fall down and go back. I'm not going to be a victim of my own past. I'm going to be a survivor and lead the future.
Absolutely.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
what I mean? Went from spray painting addresses on curbs. I built up a lawn care business. I sold it, created a bounce house business. See, I only had the mindset that I was never going back to prison. That's the only thing I had. And that is a lot of things that people have when they get out. That's the only thing they have is in their mind is, hey, I just don't want to go back to prison. But yet they go back and do the shit that they were doing to get themselves back into prison.
Hmm.
You got to separate yourself from that and not be scared to go out and do something positive and just keep on rolling with it and staying with it. Don't keep that victim mentality, because you'll never be a survivor.
Right. Absolutely. Now,
So,
yeah, you're good. Go for it, James. Sorry.
and I just built up and I worked hard, man. I have a different story than a lot of other guys. A lot
That's
of other
right.
guys, they're repeat offenders. They don't have that, you know, they don't have a stepping stone of somebody to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, there's a lot of people that do need help when they get out. Don't get me wrong. I was just in a different mindset that I'm not going back to prison.
Right.
And for me to be successful, I'm going to be the only one that's going to be able to carry myself there.
That's right.
Nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
So
that's,
that transition for you was I mean, like you said, you're sleeping under roads, under the highways and stuff, and then shoot, now you have your own freaking business. Um, I mean, that's a total role model right there. Whether you've been to prison or not.
I
Um,
appreciate it.
yeah, no, I mean, that's like, I mean, how did you even like? Was there like how did you even manage to like how your situation from getting out of prison and then owning your businesses, like how did you get in there, like how did you get it going?
Well, like I said, I got out here. I reported to my parole officer, and conditions of your parole, if you want to do good parole, is to have a job. I knew I was going to have, I can talk, I really don't talk about my charges too much, but
You don't need to talk about it.
I'll just say, I knew when I got out that it was going to be hard for me to find a job, because I wasn't going to lie to a future employer, because that's going to be your first mistake, is if you're trying to get somebody to get trust in you to work for them, to pay you, you can't lie to them from the get. You have to be straight up honest with them no matter what. When the application said, if you be convicted of a felony, yes, but I can explain. Let me get in the door. I'm going to be honest with you and say, yes, let me explain. I kept getting turned down. And I knew that if I didn't get something, that it was going to lead to, hey, I'm going to end up doing something that I know I don't want to do, because I don't want to go where I'm going to be back. So I just try to stay focused. And I just went and got some spray paint, stencils, some tape, a box cutter. I had like $150 gate money my first week. I started knocking on doors, and I told my story from the first one. My mom and dad live in the neighborhood. I spray painted their addresses on curbs, $5 each, 2 for $8. And once I got that, I seen how I could do things. I just got more vocal, and I told people, hey, look, man, I'm trying. I just got out of prison. I'm trying to do things. And I was just honest about it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I knew it was going to be hard for me to get a job because of the nature of my crime. So I knew I needed to find a way that I could self-sustain myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I started spray painting the addresses. I went back to the same ones, knocked on the door. Hey, I got a lawn. I'm doing lawns now. And I just kept that mentality that, hey, man, if I could do this, are you freaking kidding me? What the hell can I not do now?
Absolutely.
What can I not do now? Yeah, I just had a different mindset, because that time I spent 15 years in prison. You know, I didn't want to go back for not one day, not even a visit.
Right.
And a lot of people are built different. You know, I think that there's a lot of people that could use a lot more help when they get out, and maybe they can succeed. But in the long run, you really got to have that mindset and get out of that prison convict mentality and bring your true self to the game. And that's where you're going to be able to achieve the success of not going back to prison, and maybe not even starting your own business, but working for somebody and just having pride and
Right.
doing your job.
Right.
You know, success don't mean you got to be Mark Cuban.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely right.
You know, a lot of that big money just it makes it easier to sign the check at the end of the month to pay a bill.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't success doesn't define you that way. The success it defines you as a character
That's
in
right.
what you do.
Absolutely. James, did you? I feel like you took a lot of positives from prison. To be honest, I know prison's a negative place, but there's also you learn a lot of. I haven't been there. I haven't been to jail, but I feel like you can learn a lot of stuff and you meet new people. Um, that have been to different places and backgrounds and stuff, and you can pick up on that and you learn from right and wrong inside prisons. Obviously, you didn't want to go back, and you had your goals that you had when you wanted to come out. You when you came out of prison, you achieved them, and I know you still got goals. You're still young. You're only what 49,
Yeah,
right?
40,
You're only
49
49.
young.
That's it. That's it.
I'm
I
just
mentioned.
just,
I
just
mentioned
now starting to live life, man.
that's right. And I mentioned on your TikTok too. I was like on your live earlier today. I was like, dude, like that'd be cool if you could even have multiple trucks running down Florida, and then just work your way up. But another
That
thing,
is that is the plan. I actually it's kind of funny that you say that. Uh, my son, he's somewhat autistic. He's 17. Um, and what we're going to try to help him do this year, once we get into a house in a couple of months, we're trying to buy a house right now too. But we're going to be building him a gaming trailer because that's
ooh,
what he likes doing. And
mm-hmm,
here in our area, there's really not a gaming trailer, so to say.
right,
So, you know, a gaming trailer being pulled behind my food truck when we go places, kind of help my son boost him at a young age right now, 17, to be able to get out there and do something on his own and not take his disability as a crutch, but
right,
as a positive to build on to say, see what I can do, like my dad did. So
absolutely.
we're trying to do that for him this year.
That'd be even cool too for some of the delinquency kids, that take part in
Yes.
crime that don't have a home to go to after school.
Yes.
That'd be even a cool way to get them out of trouble.
Intermingle the communities,
Right,
gaming, bring people together. Yeah,
right,
that's we kind of been thinking and working on that as well. Just
right.
also helps tell the story to say, hey, look, man, you don't need to go down the wrong road. It's
Mm-hmm.
hip to be that square now. You
Right,
know, the squares of today are the millionaires of tomorrow.
right.
Remember that.
Absolutely. James, I'm
You
trying to
know.
smile right now, but I can't. Just know I'm trying to
No,
smile.
you're good. Hey, brother, I know how it feels to have that
It's
mouth
tough.
pain.
Another thing is too, James. I noticed you hit that speed bag in your garage. Was that like is that part of your routine every morning? How'd you
I, you know, for me, hitting the speed bag is just kind of little. It's to it helps me with my. I'm sure I have paperwork. I have a few mental issues that I don't see as the issue that I'm always looking for solutions to conquer every day with my problems. I am high functioning anxiety, PTSD, along with being bipolar.
got you?
So hitting the speed bag lets a lot of aggression that I build up because of me getting angry and sometimes, when things ain't going my way. I don't want to snap back and live the mentality like I did in prison when you're having bad days and there you just don't care.
Right.
It's all out war because you're not worried about any of your repercussions because you really can't get any worse than what you are where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
You
Absolutely.
know, so hitting that kind of releases a lot of tension for me, gets me kind of in a happy, good mood, takes away my problems.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So it helps me out.
Right now, did you have a mandatory like prison workout in when you're in prison? Like, was it?
Did I? No, I didn't
Uh,
because I mean I worked out. Don't
mhm.
get me wrong. did I have a mandatory one because of certain rules and regulations in prison? No, I personally didn't, because I personally chose to do, because I was there to do my time and not do anybody else's time.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there to appease anybody. I did have rules and regulations that I did had to live by, due to, if I didn't, then it could put my life in danger,
Yeah,
which the number one life in there is my life, because
absolutely.
I'm only living my life. So I just stayed occupied. I did a workout. I had my own little routine, just like I probably would have on, if I was on the streets. I made myself go to school in there. I got my high school diploma in there.
Nice. Congrats.
I took trade class. Fortunate, I see a lot of people say that they want reform in prisons and stuff like that. I can only speak where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to program in prison, you can program in prison.
Right.
You don't have to be affiliated with the gang. You don't have to get caught up in the the,
The
the
politics.
divisionness in there and politics and stuff like that. You can do that.
Right.
And that's what I did. I stuck my nose in books. I listened to music. I did my own thing. I separated my stuff from that, which it did cause me problems in there at times. You know
Right.
what I mean? But you always have to defend yourself regardless in there. It's
Right.
always living on a defense,
Right.
and I didn't want to be like that. So I kept myself occupied in programs, and just had that mindset where I didn't deal with people inside of there. I just did my own thing.
Right. Now, James, do a lot of people, or when you're in prison, did some of the people take advantage of the programs or the rehabilitation programs that are given inside there, or no?
Some people do, and some people don't.
Right.
A lot of people in there, they go, why should I do that for them?
Right.
They get that mindset in there. Because they get involved in the prison politics and want to be the cool guy and have the whatever. They've been they're a triple OG. I've been
Yeah.
down 25 years. I'm not going to bow down to that. They're promoting the wrong things to the youngsters. So there is people in there that do take because there's a lot of good, like, artists, body men, paint men, tradesmen. People do go in there and take advantage of it. There is programs, and I can only speak for where I was at in California. If you want to program, you can program.
Right.
If you want to get your GED and be serious about it, you could do it.
Right.
If the prison you were at had a program such as auto body, you were able to go there and had to learn how to do that. It's just if you wanted to do that.
Right. Absolutely.
So I can't, like I said, I can't speak for the other prisons or the other people that did time and stuff like that. But as you see, some of the TikTokers say, yes, you could have done that, but I was hanging out in the day room having zuzus and wham whams with the homies watching Kobe.
Right.
And
Mm.
not saying that sports are bad doing all that, but at the same time, why were you worried about watching Kobe? Shouldn't you been watching Kobe in the room, learning a trade for
Right.
for what you say you want to do when you get out, and that's
Right.
stay out. The only way you're going to stay out is by having a job, separating yourself, and getting away from that mentality of the people that you're in there with. Bottom line.
Absolutely. Hey, James, how'd you? What made you want to get on TikTok?
What made me? I seen my daughter going through it, and I try to stay. I don't stay on top of my daughter because I do want her to grow up and be able to be trusted, have her personal space. But once again, she is my daughter and my child, and she's
Right.
12 years old. So I was like, oh, what's up with this TikTok thing? I'm always seeing you do this, and when I go by, see, kind of what cut my eye is when I was going by. You scroll up
Mm-hmm.
to see the videos, and I'm like,
Right.
why she keeps scrolling up? She don't want daddy to see something or another.
Right.
So I was like, all right, you got to give me the phone. What are you looking at? Daddy, it's just TikTok. It's this, it's that. And I was like, okay. So I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Maybe that's another platform I could, tell my personal story. because my other YouTube and Fresh Food Fact and on my Facebook, everybody there knows my story.
Right.
And I got to